It's the right decision for myself to be out. Take some time to myself. I'm not a dater. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'm not the same person as I was 2 years ago. I'm just not.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot more matured in a short amount of time, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Am I surprised that Jake left? No. You could see he wasn't happy. You could see he wasn't exploring connections with other people. And I think the producers tried their best to get him to stay. I think in the end, they just had to give in because he was done. And I give him credit for saying, I'm done and I'm out. Liberty crying, okay, it is what it is. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island All Stars, Season 1, Episode 3. Here we go. I don't know how to feel because somebody in the comments said Louis apparently has 2 kids by 2 different baby mamas, so... I really wanted him to couple up with Kaz, and I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, I digress. So you now have, the couples having a conversation and people just catching up and exploring connections with other people. I don't get Chris. I don't get the hype about Chris. The fact that he called Molly and he's like, oh, I heard you've been feeling me, so do you want to go up for a chat? And it's sort of saying, oh, I'm making you laugh. When you snort, it means I'm funny. And I don't get him. I don't get the hype. I think it's the fact that he's been in a movie. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Because he is good looking, don't get me wrong. But his personality is just annoying. For lack of a better word, it's annoying. You can only take it so much before you get annoyed. So I don't know why Molly would even entertain him. You have Mitch having a word with Georgia H and sort of saying, I felt nervous. I didn't know how to approach you. I really liked you. I watched your season. Like, Mitch has got game. I don't know who taught him game, whether it's Tariq or whoever. Somebody has trained him before he came into the villa, because this is not the way. But I remember in his season, he used to tell people what they wanted to hear or what he felt they wanted to hear in order for him to couple up with them. And it didn't work, but it seems somehow Georgia H is eating that up. So, hey, it is what it is. You have Georgia S having a conversation with Anton. Anton is feeling some type of way because he's kissed, Georgia S, but then she seems to be spending more time with Toby. She's kissed Toby. We all saw that. And so for me, it's like, what do you expect? Her sort of behavior is showing you that she's really not feeling you that much, that she's all in on Toby. So why you are even bothering to try and create a connection with her, or why you're bothering to pursue her doesn't make sense. There are other girls in the villa. If I were you, I would shift your energy to somebody else, because Georgia S is just going to continue to have you running rings around her, and she's not interested. When they go to bed, she's busy flirting with Toby. She's busy kissing Toby. She's worried that Toby might recouple with somebody else. And Anton is sitting there looking like a wet blanket. And it's like, what did you expect? How many more times can she show you that she prefers Toby more? Yes, she's telling you she's known him longer, or she's been with him longer, so he has an advantage. But there's more to that. If I were you, I'd open my eyes and actually see what's in front of me. You then have Louis speaking to Demi. I don't get Demi. I'm not a fan. I don't know, for some reason I'm not a fan. At least with Chris, I can pick out why I don't like him, but with Demi, I think she's trying too hard. The fact that, she acknowledged that, Louis likes her and Kaz, and he said he also likes Molly, and it's like, I don't get this Molly train. I think people are just saying Molly just because her ex is in the villa and because they think she's, likely to get them more hype. So that's why they want to link up with her. Otherwise, she is good looking, but the personality is just dry. Maybe she suits Chris. Hey, it is what it is. Everybody gets ready for bed. And then you have Kaz in the bedroom sort of flirting and dancing on Anton. And it's like, oh my God. Louis walked in, saw it, and he sort of paused. I don't know whether he was pausing because he wondered what the hell is going on, or whether he felt some type of way. We'll see. The fact that now it's put me off. The fact that they're saying he's got 2 baby mamas and it doesn't seem to be, that supportive with one of them is what is sort of making me go off him. I hope they bring somebody else for Kaz, because I want Kaz to stay in the villa. So In the morning, the islanders have a mini debrief. Obviously, the producers are not going to miss out on the opportunity to have a debrief. For what reason, I don't know. People are still getting to know one another. I don't know why they don't give them time to actually know the people around them and then make a choice or make a decision of who they want to pursue. And you have Liberty having a conversation with Kaz and Toby. And she's sort of saying that she really likes Mitch and is hoping that they can develop their connection, but she doesn't want to seem like she's sitting there pining for him. And it's like, as I said before, my opinion of Liberty has changed. I felt sorry for her on Love Island Games when Callum pied her and sort of put her in the friend zone, and Johnny sort of pied her as well. But the way she's behaved around Jake, I don't like at all. I don't like that. And so the fact that Mitch is now trying to pie her, hey, it is what it is. You have Jake having a meditation session with Georgia H. And I'm happy that at least somebody's taken him under their wing, because he really seems very lost. He really seems out of place. You then have Holly have a conversation with the other guys. She's with Anton, Lois, and Chris. And they're sort of talking, and she's saying that I am someone who struggles because I can't flirt. And so it's very difficult for me to establish a connection with anyone. And for me, it's like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This is not the type of show that a single mom at 33 should be attending. I think the problem is most people there are just there either for followers or just to have a great holiday. And so the idea that you'd find someone who's really serious and looking for a committed relationship is highly unlikely, in my opinion. I might be wrong. They might prove me wrong, but hey, it is what it is. So then you have Chris sort of talk about the fact that he's got many situations and he's trying to see which one is best for him and what will work. And it's like, I don't get why people give Chris so much credit. I really don't. I don't think he's that much of a catch. And the fact that he's sort of saying, oh, I'm interested in Molly and I'm interested. And it's like, I don't think these girls are really interested in him. Or maybe they're still interested in him because of his hype and because of his season. But I don't think with time they could take more of him, because he's sarcastic and at times he doesn't always land. So I don't know how that will play out. You have Mitch having this flirty session with Demi, and it's like, go Mitch. He has better game this season, doesn't he? And Demi seems to be eating up whatever he's dishing. And it's like, oh, okay, do you? This is Messy Mitch. He's Messy Mitch for a reason. As long as he doesn't treat you the same way he treated Abby on his season, that's fine. And then Liberty is just sitting there watching. And it's like, you need to explore connections with other people. If you think you can outplay Mitch, you're in for a rude awakening. If I were you, I would pursue connections with other guys, because Mitch is going to go where Mitch feels comfortable, or where Mitch thinks is going to last him or allow him to survive the longest in the villa. So if it means he's going to sort of dance between you and Demi, he's going to do that, because that's who Mitch is. And so later Mitch pulled Liberty for a chat, and you have Kaz, sort of gently interrogating Demi to find out where Demi stands in regards to her connection with Mitch. And it's like, I don't think Liberty will look out for you the same way you want to look out for Liberty, but hey, we'll see how it goes. I think Mitch's game plan this season is to tell the girls what they want to hear, to keep as many girls as possible interested in him. That way he's never not in a couple, because he knows the chances of him surviving the season without being in a couple are highly unlikely twice. So he was telling Liberty, for him to say, oh, you've got a very good personality, and you're very stunning, you shouldn't have both, you should have one or the other, and blah, blah, blah. It's like Mitch is telling her what she wants to hear. That's it, as far as I'm concerned. And that's where it ends. You had Toby speaking to Demi, and Georgia sort of confused me. I think it was Georgia H. And she was sort of trying to suss out what happened between Toby and Georgia S. And Toby wouldn't say. He wouldn't say. This is why I'm saying Toby and Georgia S are just on the show to make money. That's it. They were brought on to make money, and they were told to pretend like they're not in a relationship. And that's what he's going to do, because he wouldn't clearly articulate what happened. He said he lost trust, but he wouldn't say why he lost trust. When she said, oh, did she go on a date? Did she try to DM other people? He just said along the lines of. And it's like, Just say what it is. If you're really not that into her, why would you not say exactly what she did? Everybody else is saying what happened between them and their ex. You are very vague. That means that you really like Georgia, but you are trying to play hard to get. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to it. For Chris to be, oiling Molly in front of Callum, that's a bit messy. That's a bit messy. I like that he recognizes that he could just be he could be a pawn in the Molly and Callum relationship, in the sense that it could be a test to see if they're ready to move on from one another or if they still really like each other. But the fact that he's doing all that is a bit too much for me. I like the fact that Georgia said, you have to be serious about your girl. Don't let Chris and his corny lines and his corny behavior sort of take your girl from you, which I was like, at least somebody recognizes that Chris is corny. There's nothing really stand out about him. He's corny. That's the best word to describe him. So it's interesting that as soon as Mitch pulls Demi for a chat, Liberty decides to go up to the terrace, and obviously Kaz has to go with her. They're very close friends, and they're having a chat, and she's saying, I'm moving away because I don't want to watch Mitch sort of having a conversation with somebody else. And it's like, you're in Love Island. You recognize you're in Love Island. What do you expect? This is the way she behaved in Love Island games, where she became territorial over Johnny, and then Johnny played both her and Jess told her, we don't fight over guys, because this is what happens when we fight over guys. They move on to the next girl. And so for her to be territorial over Mitch and be saying, I don't want to watch him, be with somebody else, that's not your boyfriend. Look at Callum. He's sitting there and he's watching Molly being rubbed all over by Chris, and he's not doing anything. Maybe work on yourself. Maybe you are the issue, not the guys. And maybe you are interested, or you're always chasing guys that don't like you because she says, oh, Chris is the other guy that I liked. And it's like, seriously, how do you go from Chris to Mitch? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. They're two totally different people. So how do you say you like both of them? That doesn't make sense. And the math ain't mathing. Anyway, you have Chris having a conversation with Lois and sort of saying he thinks, or they both think, that Callum has moved on and is not bothered who Molly is flirting with. I think Callum has looked at the competition and has realized that there really is no competition. And so he's decided to sit back and let Molly do her thing. One, or either he's waiting for Molly to be in a couple with someone before he moves on to the next person, because he doesn't want to be the one to find a connection with somebody else first. And then it won't be good luck for him. So he wants Molly to find happiness. Once she does, then he will make a move on whoever is available for him. That's the impression that I'm getting. And to have Mitch and Toby sit down, oh my God, that's comedy on its own. Toby sort of tried to hint to Mitch that you need to make a choice. Stop playing between Demi and Liberty. Make a choice and stick to it, because otherwise you're going to lose both girls when somebody walks in and picks one of them, and maybe they'll pick the person that you like. And then Mitch owned up that he actually is feeling Demi more. We could all see that. I don't know how Liberty is going to take it when she hears it, but hey, Mitchell has moved on. So as the Islanders are getting ready, you have the guys recognizing that Mitch has really been making moves. Mitch has really been trying to see if he can create a connection. And they're sort of teasing him that you need a rest because you've been running around way too much. I think he's been going in between Demi and Liberty. And so as they're talking, it turns out Lewis has said that he prefers Demi, and Mitch is like, oh crap. I think in his head he's thinking, I need to make my move now. And so Mitch asks, what about Kaz? And you went, and it's like, after the comment that I saw about Lewis, I think I would rather Kaz be with someone who will put her first. I hope they bring in a bombshell that she likes, or a bombshell who really likes her, and she can be in a romantic couple, because at the moment she's in a friendship couple with Mitchell, and if people were to recouple, should most likely go home, because we haven't seen her have a conversation with anyone that has been romantic outside of Lois. So I am nervous for her. Anyway, the Islanders get their drinks and everybody's called to the fire pit by Jake. So Jake announces that he's leaving, and everybody's gutted because I think people were trying to stop him from leaving, but he had made his mind up. I think at times you have to do what's in your best interest. You have to look after your own mental well-being. So for him to choose to go home, I think that's what was best for him. But then Liberty to try and make it about herself and start crying and say, "Oh, now I feel guilty." You weren't feeling guilty when you said he was the most boring. You weren't feeling guilty when you were making sarcastic remarks about him. But suddenly now you're feeling guilty because he's going home. I think she thinks the viewers will think she is responsible for him going home, so she's aiming for the sympathy. Liberty really hasn't done anything this season that has made me really like her. I liked her and I felt sorry for her on Love Island Games, as I keep repeating, but here I don't feel that. And it's sad to see Jake go. I thought Jake was a very good guy. I thought he was very sweet. It's a pity he didn't find someone for himself. And he had an interview with Maya Jama, and she was sort of saying, you never know, someone might have come that would have been your type. I think Sing Liberty there ruined it for him, and he never was able to get over it because he started reliving his failed relationship with Liberty in the villa, being in the villa there with her. And so I think it's good that he's gone. And I hope he finds his one when, someone will be his one, whether in the real world or someone will DM him. I wish him all the best. I don't get Lewis. So Lewis has a conversation with Demi and he's telling her that he's told the guys that, he's really honing in on her and he really likes her, and so wants to see how far that connection can go. And so he's asked, does Kaz know? And he goes, no, not yet. And yet when he speaks to Kaz, he's flirting with Kaz. They're talking about their tattoos and stuff. You never hear him actually say that, oh, well, I want to close. Yes, I want to get to know you, but I'm more focused on Demi. And if we were to recouple today, Demi would be it. And it's like, why are you wasting Kaz's time? If you're really not feeling her like that, just let her know and she can move on. Georgia Edge and Anton have a conversation and they agree that they think they want to explore a romantic connection. And it's like everybody now knows that somebody's going to go home. So everybody's going to try and explore a connection with someone or build a connection with someone so that they are not vulnerable at the next recoupling. That's the opinion that I'm getting. So the guys are safe because there's more girls than guys, so guys are going to be more relaxed, but the girls are going to be antsy and they're going to be looking for connections with anyone, even people that they might not normally date. I don't know why everybody else came around, because by them coming around, it sort of took away from what was going on. Because I think Molly and Callum were actually benefiting from having Georgia S and Toby B sort of their intermediators while they were trying to address what went wrong in their relationship. Because everybody else was going around in circles and asking one of them at a time, whereas at this point, they were able to express themselves, and sort of Georgia and Toby would sort of ask them to clarify so that the other person understood what was being said, or they would ask them to sort of take a pause when they felt that it was being heated. And so when everybody stepped in, I think it took away from what they were saying. And for Chris to be lurking around in the background, sort of watching, trying to see what's going on, and then sort of pounce at the earliest opportunity, I felt was inappropriate. I get where Molly was coming from, in the sense that she was stating that, well, you broke us up because you wanted to go and focus on your career. And Callum was saying, no, that's not it. I didn't say that. And so Molly then agreed that, well, that was her understanding from what he said. And so it's good that they were sort of able to get some clarity. But for Chris to then step in and sort of say, Molly, can I pull you for a chat? And for him to pull her to the terrace doesn't make sense to me. I think that's very disrespectful, and that just shows how corny he is. Because if he really was interested in her and having a conversation, you should have taken it either to the fire pit or the day beds where everybody else can see. The fact that he took her up there where everybody automatically assumes that they're going to share a kiss wasn't necessary. In my opinion, that was very disrespectful. I really don't get it. I don't get what the girls see in Chris. I really don't get, because for him to come up with that stupid game, or if you stay in someone's eyes for like 3 minutes, you fall in love, and then he leans in for a kiss, and it's like, Molly, why are you buying that? Why are you eating that up? Make it make sense, because this man is not serious. If he was someone who was seriously looking for a connection, if he was someone who's respectful and caring and empathetic, the things that you said that Callum didn't possess, why then would he kiss you immediately after he's seen you have an argument with your ex? Would he not sit down with you and console you and sort of try and get you to sort of distress without having to kiss you? Why would he do that? I don't get it, and I think it's very disrespectful, and I don't know why Molly ate that up or why she even agreed to the kiss. I think Chris is just being messy and is going to be messy. I think he's trying to out messy Mitch, and I don't know how well he's going to succeed, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 2. Bye guys.